Hello, everyone. All right, this is the coveted spot right after lunch when you guys are dozing off, so this is exciting. All right, so my name is Travis Wright, and so who is Travis Wright? So here I am. I've been a stand-up comedian since 1995, and realized I wasn't that funny, and so I figured I better do some web development and learn how this interweb thing worked out, and so far so good. And I actually helped roll out GTE super pages back in the day, so I'm dating myself a little bit, about 15 years ago. SEO, geo-targeting, I understood that at an early time in the industry. I realized that if you're like in Boston and you're a plumber, if you could have bostonplumber.com, that would be awesome. And that was before Google was around, and so I sort of understood. I'm like, there's a lot of businesses who don't understand this thing. Let's help them out. And so I started helping them out. I'm an entrepreneur of many failed startups so far. It's exciting. Actually just left Norton, was the global social media strategist for Semantic, and did some really cool stuff that we'll talk about today. I'm a digital marketing strategist with my new consulting company called Media Think Labs, and also the B2B growth hacker for Insighten, and business journalist, and I actually co-host a podcast with Technorati that's just launched its 3rd episode yesterday. And so you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at TW. Feel free to tweet throughout the event. It should be a good time. So let's talk about who this Travis Wright dude is not. He is not Penn Jillette. I should let you know that. I do not have a little friend that's Teller. But although I do, he kind of looks like Teller. And so we had to take that photo, but I'm not that. All right, so bro is the new SEO. That's what I say, right? Because one night I had an epiphany and I was like, you know what? Relationships are the root of all of your revenue. Relationships. So we need to do relationship optimization. Business relationship optimization. Bro! And I was really happy about that. I thought that was amazing. Because search and social are bros, right? And anytime throughout the presentation you can throw up a bro fist, and I won't bro fist you back. Here's Edgar Allan bro. Very important that I had that in the slide deck. All right, so for those of you who don't know, I live in Kansas City. I'm a Chiefs fan. Last year I sent out this tweet because we were horrible. We got blown out in the first week of the season, and it was like the 4th or 5th year in a row that we were under salary cap by like $20 or $30 million. So I sent this very rude tweet. It was not polite at all. It was one tweet. 3 minutes later, if you look at the timestamp, they tweeted me back. It would help if you get your facts straight. It's your choice to be a fan. CC, get a clue. Wow. I was befuddled. Did they just tell me to get a clue? I was beside myself. So we'll let it run its course. There we go. There's Patrick, and we're starting over again. So I tweeted out, right? I said, okay, because I didn't see this till the next day at lunch. They tweeted the night before. I see it the next day at lunch, and I'm like, really? Okay, wow. So I tweeted out. It's good to know the Chiefs social media, teams ran by a bunch of immature teenagers. Here it is. And then the Chiefs blocked me. Did not set well with me. So I put it on Reddit. It made the front page of Reddit. Slowed down Reddit. Crashed Reddit. It was crazy. Made the front page of Yahoo, Mashable, NFL.com, ESPN talked about it. I made the news. Somebody made a GIF of me. I was like, whoa. They told me to get a clue. So they apologized, which was nice, but I was still blocked. I didn't see it. And I was too busy trending to care, which was nice. Which overall, it was pretty hilarious. So very good little Twitter story that I have. And so so why does that tie into bro? Well, you really need to know who your fans are, your customers, or your potential clients. You need to have good relationships with them because it can impact search rankings. It can impact your sentiment. It can really create a storm, and I'll actually tell you what happened at the end of the presentation if you guys are interested, what actually happened as a result of that, that whole deal. So it's a cool story, isn't it? I want to do a presentation like that with a collar like that sometime, or multiple collars. That would be awesome. Personally, I think that's some tweet foo, though. Is that nice, tweet foo? It was nice. All right, so now we're going to get into some business stuff. We had some laughs, and here we go. So it's really important to really understand the personas of people who are going to buy your products, okay? So you want to really do a dive into them, and you want to figure out who they are, how do they think, what keeps them up at night, what makes them tick, what titles do they have at their job, what are their job responsibilities, what are things that sort of bug them, how can you make their life easier, and what kind of content that you can create that they're going to like, that they're going to want to share on your behalf because you're helping make their life easier. So you want to understand the personas. How can you do that? Well, there's a lot of different ways that we can do that, but one really important way is to interview your current customers. Who are your most influential current customers, and find out how you're helping make their life easier. What would life be like without your company around? If they could no longer do business with your company, how would that impact them? And they're going to start telling you some of the things that they use your tool for, they use your service for, that really makes their life easy. You can take those learnings and really build some great content around it and create some use cases. So yeah, you can do some testing, study your web analytics, which is huge. So actually, if you have the Google site search on your website, that's a really awesome way to go into Google Analytics to find out what people are actually searching for on your website that they may not be finding. Keywords, different sort of terms that might be beneficial for you to pay attention to create some content, right? Because they're coming to your site looking for that, they can't find it. If they come to your site and you don't have a site search, you probably ought to think about putting one on there because you can glean some valuable information from that. And again, go to events, and here we are. All right. Also, it's important to research your buyer keywords and really sort of dive in. This seems like a little elementary here, but sometimes you think the keyword is one way, but then people are typing it in another way. So, antivirus, but it could be anti-space virus or anti-hyphen virus. Same thing with cybersecurity. And there's a lot of other examples that we found in a lot of different industries that you can learn from. So don't just assume that you know what the right way is. You want to get inside the mind of the persona and the intent of that person. So this is Matt Cutts. He said this, that quality content is the key to Google rankings, bro. So Matt Cutts said it. Must be true. Here's Dwayne Forrester. He is the Bing SEO guy. All SEO ranking signals revolve around content of some kind, bro. It's true. It's right there. And here's the Brotato. He didn't say anything. All right, social sharing is link building 2.0. So really, your social signals do impact your SEO nowadays, right? So how many Facebook likes does your page have? How many shares is your content generating? Okay. How many followers do you have? How many, even on some of these other things like SlideShare views and YouTube views, some of these things aren't as prevalent as some of the top ones, but they are becoming part of the algorithm. As Google changes it all the time, you want to be cognizant of these facts. Another thing that's really cool about Google Plus that a lot of people don't know, but if somebody circles you on Google Plus and then they search for a product that your company has, your product will pop up over your competitor's product if they're a fan of your business. So if they're searching for like a bandsaw or something online and they're a fan of Home Depot but not Lowe's, then the Home Depot one will pop up, which is interesting, even if the ranking signals are higher for the Lowe's. And also the authority and influence of your bros is important. So like if a Chris Brogan or Brian Salas or some awesome person retweets you, right, that's going to have a higher ranking signal than if just some Joe Schmo did, right? So keep that in mind. That's why it's important to build relationships with key industry people because they might share your content as well. All right, so here's some activities that you can use to increase your bro. I think it's important to have a blog outreach strategy, okay? So not only putting great content on your website, but also putting great content on other people's websites, okay? Finding great people to work with that are relevant to your personas that you're targeting and put content on their site that links back to your site. It's genius, okay? And so you want to identify who those influencers are, who are those important blogs that are key within your space. Then you want to use some outreach tools, right? So GroupHigh is a cool tool. BuzzStream is also a great tool. One thing that I like to do is really curate lists on Twitter, identifying really key players, then exporting all of their data, all of their URLs and their bio data. And then I'll take all those URLs, plug them into a tool like GroupHigh or BuzzStream, and it'll go out and find their email addresses, their Facebook page, their LinkedIn page, all kinds of great data about them. So it makes your life really easy if you want to start reaching out to them. Gmail plugins are huge. Reportive, if you guys have used that, it actually creates a little column on the right-hand side of your Gmail that brings in all of the person who you're emailing social data, all their profile data, so their Twitter account, their Facebook, their LinkedIn. Google Plus. It's really cool to be able to see that right over there, because if you're not connected with them, you can just click and connect, which is pretty huge. Yesware, I love Yesware. That tool puts a pixel in every email that you send. And so when somebody opens up that email, you notice when they open up the email, you get a little notification, oh, somebody just opened up your email. So whenever I sent Clark Hunt, the owner of the Chiefs, an email, and Scott Pioli an email, they opened it up 49 times across 17 different devices in 4 different cities. They sent that thing all around. They never responded to me, but they opened it up 49 times, and so that was a little minor victory that I had. So data.com is huge. Jigsaw.com is what it used to be. Then Salesforce bought it. Now it's data.com. This is actually a crowdsourced database of people's contact information. So maybe you meet somebody who's interesting, and you can input that information into data.com, and then you can actually download another piece of contact information from somewhere else. So it's huge, amazing amount of information in that site. Also, connect with journalists. Okay, help a reporter out. Haro, that's huge. Muckrack. Muckrack is a tool that allows you to, it's basically a journalist directory of every journalist in the world that's set up by their different beats that they write about, or the city that they're in, or the technology, or the different industry, or whatever. I love Muckrack. And then acquire author accounts. So you've identified all these great places. If in different places you want to write, or you want your content to be placed, if you could actually get an author account and post content whenever you wanted, that's a huge win. All right, so brands need a content creation ecosystem, I believe. All brands, small businesses. We're now brand journalism, right? Everybody said journalism is dead, newspapers are dead, magazines are dead. Well, it's not dead. Well, those mediums are dead, but journalism is not. Now all these great journalists are now working for great brands and PR firms and amazing blogs. And so you got to keep writing and creating content, and content is vital to your business, right? Videos, images, text, audio, and links. And you can expound upon that, infographics and podcasts and all different kinds of things, but it's really crucial to create content consistently. Because the more content you create, the more you become a thought leader. So true. So the people who blog more often, if you look at this list, if you're blogging multiple times a day, they get way more customers than people who rarely blog at all, okay? That's via HubSpot, so that must be real. They said it. So it's important. We want to blog. So you want to become an authority. Respect my authority. And here's my version of Cartman. So good. That's as good as I could get. Probably could be a little more chubby, but. So blogs, companies that blog have 434% more web content, right? Way more index pages in Google. So you want to be one of those companies, all right? And you generate way more leads. That's why it's important to create this kind of content. And everybody talks about content. We're beating it into your head, so you guys do it, okay? So what about Norton? What did we do there? We did some pretty cool stuff at Norton. Now, when I first started, I wanted to understand the landscape of our customers right from the beginning. And so I exported all of our Twitter followers, and I took their bio data from a tool I used to Simply Measured as the free tool to pull all our data from our followers. Then I took just the bio data, took that and put it into this other tool called Tag Crowd. That found the words that were used most frequently, and then I got rid of all of the sort of modifiers, a, and the, and all that stuff, and then found the best words, and then I put it in Wordle and then used Photoshop and made it nice. But what it allowed me to do was to see how our customers and our followers identify with themselves, okay? So I could find more pockets of efficiency and find more people like these people. And it worked. When we started, we had about 5,000 followers. Now we have over 100,000 followers on the Norton account. We had about almost 100,000 fans on Facebook. Now it's like 1.1 million. So really identifying how people are identifying with themselves allows you to find more people like them and to sort of target those people. And so I think it's really important, if you're in charge of content or if you're in charge of social media, you want to try to break down the silo walls within the business, okay? When we started, we had multiple different silos. Everybody had their own meetings pertaining to certain things, and it was really hard to get social integrated. And so we had to get everybody to come and have a seat at the table. And these are all the people that we worked with there, So we have the .com e-commerce team, there's customer support, partnership team, product marketing, regional marketing, global PR, brand marketing, the optimization team, Marcom, SEO team, And then we had to create a content team. That didn't even exist. But there were like 14 blogs all over the place that were all, that were just all over. So you really want to be able to tap in and get people to come and sit at a table, sit at a meeting, meet them face to face, and work on this together, because it's so crucial to your business nowadays to have a seamless plan that sort of everyone's working together. So one of the products that we have is mobilesecurity.com, and we were ranking about 5th or 6th for the term, mobile security. We want to rank number 1 for mobile security, right? So let's say, you know what, let's do some bro. Okay, let's create an article. Let's put it in different places. And so we got an article placed on Huffington Post. Do we really need mobile security? And we put a little video in there. We got a quote from the product manager and some other stuff. And then, boom, we ended up being number 1 on Google for that term within 2 days of that Huffington Post article dropping. So one article on one influential site impacted our rankings tremendously. And so we were pretty excited about that. We're really excited. We're like, woo! And this gets more hilarious the more you watch it. So I think Kobe just did something awesome. Like, woo! It's even funny in reverse, too. I love it in reverse. So, a GIF is hilarious. All right. So another thing that we do at Norton is go to really cool events. And so we spent a lot of advertising dollars with ESPN. So they invited us to the ESPN Super Bowl party, which was pretty cool. And so we got to hand out these really cool Norton yellow glasses and connect with all these influencers within the room. And so we were talking about mobile security. We got a few of them to tweet out about mobile security. But one of the things that I wanted to do to ensure that we had maximum visibility for this event was to place some key tweets before the event, right? And then I would talk to some of my bros and I said, hey, can I get some retweet love before the event, right? And so I tweeted this out at 9 a.m. the morning of the event, which was at 9 p.m. And we ended up I got about 40 friends of mine to retweet it, which made it be the top tweet. And then it started getting a lot of retweets on its own and ended up getting about 300 retweets. But what was interesting, we had the top tweet for the whole event. So from 9 a.m. the day of the event, all through the event, all through the next day until about 4 p.m. the next day, over 30 hours, we had the top tweet for that event, the Super Bowl party, which was pretty cool, considering there was a lot of celebrities and stuff there. So we said, hey, that's interesting learning. Let's try it at other events. So we tried it at South by Southwest. And we had an event at Pandora, South by Southwest, a party where we actually had these Rockstar recharge booths where you'd go up and you'd open up a thing and you'd hook up your phone, and then you had a key and you just kept it in your pocket, and you could go rock out to all these bands and your phone would recharge and it was safe. We protected your phone, which was really cool. So we did it again. We couldn't rank for South by Southwest because like Macklemore or somebody tweeted something out and there was like 3,500 retweets, and so we're like, there's no way to really sort of do that. But we got quite a few retweets on that one. So we were able to do that for the Pandora South by Southwest event and able to do it multiple times. So really, if you can seed some retweets and get some bros to retweet for you, you can actually get some additional visibility. And so we were able to own the Pandora event for 4 days with 2 tweets. 96 hours we were the top tweet. Pretty cool. Another thing is some brandscaping opportunities. So what you want to ask yourself is, what brands are similar to your brand that already services your customers that you want, right? Brandscaping. So Anthony Zeiker, he was the creator of CSI. You guys heard that show, the murderous sort of crazy show that's out there. So he wanted to create a movie on cybercrime, kind of like what he did with CSI and forensics. So he came to Norton to sort of authenticate his story, which was really cool because we were able to sort of build into his existing audience of CSI fans, tap into that, and get a whole new sort of growth. We were able to really grow our audience right there. It was really huge. And so Norton was baked into the movie, right? Key scenes were taken at Norton. We had a character that was a Norton employee. Norton products were all through the movie, presented by Norton. We really we maximized our visibility on this. We launched this in 25 languages over the course of 3 days, and we had over 31 million people watch the whole series worldwide, which was pretty cool. So if you're talking about a regular movie, that's like 31 million people paying $10 a pop. That's a pretty big movie, but we gave it away for free. It was pretty fun. So look for opportunities to create content with other brands that might be similar to yours, because you can get a lot of visibility and sort of partner it up. Plus, it costs you less money to do that. So there's another cool story there. You know how long that took to create that? There we go. So the last one we did a partnership with Warner Brothers, and the Man of Steel movie, which was really fun. And so we created a digital metropolis on our Facebook page. You could go in, you'd click it up, it'd pull in your picture, pull in a bunch of information about you, pull in a bunch of information about where you live and your friends, and you could win $10,000, which was pretty cool. And well, one of the things that I love to do, which is another little sort of growth hack, just sort of me always testing and playing around, is instead of just having our name be Norton, since we were a sponsor in Man of Steel, I decided to change our name to Norton #Man of Steel. And as a result of that, anytime that we tweeted about Man of Steel, we would immediately be one of the top tweets. We would stay up there all the time. And also, if somebody typed in Man of Steel, they would see our brand every time they would do that. So if they were searching on Twitter for that. So it gave us about $250,000 worth of visibility for $0, which I love that. I like finding those nice little pockets of efficiency. So keep in mind also, switching gears a little bit, that search is more than just Google and Bing. A lot of people think, oh, search, Google and Bing and Yahoo. Well, you know what? YouTube is actually the second largest search engine in the world. So you want to keep that in mind when you're thinking about that. And a lot of people, there's a ton of searches happening on Twitter every day. So this is when we first sort of explored it. We did a partnership with Avengers, and this is when we were sort of testing how we can sort of figure out and get to that top tweet status. And so we were playing around, and we really figured out some cool learnings. And so one of the things that we would do is if there's a hashtag or something that's relevant to our brand, we would always try to sort of piggyback onto it, or what is it called? Hashjacking or something, hashtag jacking or newsjacking is what we would try to do, but only if it was relevant to our brand. And so this is a partnership that we have with Avengers, and so we wanted to showcase for that. There we go, there's YouTube. So again, second largest search engine in the world is YouTube. So you really want to make sure that your videos are set up for success within YouTube, right, for in the search. And a lot of people don't really talk about video SEO, but it's really important to SEO your video, bro, all right? And so here's a really cool YouTube keyword tool, right? So we've all probably seen the Google keyword tool, which is now no longer exists. It's now the Google AdWord keyword planning tool. So they've got rid of the original keyword tool. This YouTube tool is still pretty available. So you can see how many people are actually searching for those keywords for those type of videos that you want to put up. So do that research for your brand, and then you want to start doing some SEO for your videos, all right? So you want to create a unique name for your video. I know you just made your video and it's IMG_449AVI and you want to upload that, but you'd be better served to name it with a keyword-rich name before you actually upload it, okay? And then you want to put your keywords first within the headline of your video and include the keywords in your video voiceover within the video, right? Because Google is getting really smart with their voice recognition, and they're going through and listening to these videos, and that's part of their algorithm. So you want to keep that in mind. Use the keywords you want to rank for in your video. Also, you want to upload a transcript of that video when you're done. Not only for the closed captioning, but also you can put that in your description, because again, all those keywords are then sort of, they're searched, and it's huge, so you want to do that. Build an authoritative channel, upload videos regularly, respond to comments on the videos if you can, which is huge to do. Playlists are valuable, encouraging people to share your stuff, and build backlinks to those videos. Because if you can do those things, your videos will become more relevant than other people's videos, okay? Another thing, if you want to just do transcriptions for video or audio, here's a cool tool that I found called SpeechPad. They'll do it for $1 a minute of audio, so every 60-minute or an hour video is going to cost you $60. Or you can go to Odesk and get yourself a video transcription person to help you out. I've been able to find people who will transcribe a minute of audio for like 30 cents. So, it's not expensive. You don't have to spend time doing it yourself, okay? Feel free to have people help you. Graph search on Facebook is another opportunity. It's always really interesting when you're going to a new place to sort of connect with people. But, so who are some of my friends who, like Norton? Who are some plumbers nearby? Where are some restaurants nearby? Oh, here's some restaurants. Starred, which ones are liked by my friends? So people are going to start using this more and more to really tap into this, because I think there's a whole wealth of knowledge that you're willing to listen to your friend over some people who you don't know, right? So word of mouth is still crucial. If you're going to a new city, who are the friends that I know that are here in this particular city? I had a Boston one, I forgot to put it in there, sorry. Pinterest. Pinterest now allows you to search and find some cool bros, right? So the pins, The boards and the pinners are actually all searchable, and so you can go through there and find out who are the most influential people for those particular terms. So don't be afraid to utilize that. If you're on Pinterest or you have a visual brand, you want to find people who are are influencers and authority figures within that keyword and that space on that site. So Tumblr, same thing. You want to build yourself a nice little Tumblr site, and once you build your Tumblr site, go to brands.tumblr.com. Or if you don't have a Tumblr rep, get a Tumblr rep if you're a big brand, because they will feature you. And once we got featured, we gained about 3,500 new fans or something really quick from just being featured on this page. So pretty cool to be featured. So we did a little bro fist right there, and that was exciting. That's not cute enough for you. Aww. That's just me pandering, I'm sorry. So anyways, this right here is crucial. So depending on who your demographic is, they're going to be on different search engines. And if you notice now, look at the three bottom ones, Facebook, Yelp, and LinkedIn. The oldest demographic on the internet are on that site. So if you want to target young people, then obviously you want to go to some of these other sites above. And if you search for Pingdom, P-I-N-G-D-O-M, that's what this is the age distribution infographic from Pingdom. So that's where I pulled that from. And you want to repurpose your content if you can, okay? So here's a piece of content that was created with Norton, cell phone safety tips for kids, right? Really boring looking piece of content, right? There's no image there, but it's really great content. And I said, you know what? Let's do something else with this. Let's maybe create a SlideShare or make a video or something with it. And so we did. We put it on SlideShare, and it created almost 130,000 additional views just by changing the format of your content. So the original piece of content that you created may not be as sexy as you would like, but you know what? Let's see where other places that we could put it or other ways that we could share that information, right? And so feel free to repurpose it because it's huge. And then you can do a little bro dance afterwards. All right, so this is really cool stuff here. So you can actually change your share snippets. This is valuable to do. So a lot of times you post a piece of content, somebody shares it on Facebook, and it pulls up some obscure image, and the description is horrible, and it's like, that's not what I want. And so that's what happens every time somebody wants to share your stuff. That's the information that gets pulled up. So using Open Graph from Facebook, you can actually change the way all of your snippets look, okay? And this is the structured social sharing formula, and all of these links right here, when we get to the end, I have a document that has all of these resources in it for you, so you guys can just go to the link here. But the presentation is pretty huge, yseo.us/SSSF, and then the worksheet is SSSFW. But it's really huge, so you can literally, it walks you through what code you need to put on your website to structure how you want those to look, because you know, if your shares, your snippets look cool, then it might get shared more frequently from other people. They might like it more, right? So you want to keep that in mind. Author rank, obviously, if you can get your picture up there, then people are going to click on that a little more often, right? Are you going to click on the top one or the bottom one, right? You see somebody's face there, they look like they know what they're talking about, right? Their face is there. And so what you do is you connect your About Me page of your blog or your website to your Google Plus profile. You connect the two, and they'll pull in the photo from your Google Plus profile if you've authenticated that process. So you want to do that. And so here's bit.ly/rel-author-resource. So that's the best resource that shows you guys exactly how to do that. So if you're not doing that, you want to do that. All right, here's Abraham Lincoln, which I love that. It's pretty snazzy. All right, now I want to talk about B2P marketing just real quick, right? So everybody talks about B2C and B2B marketing, but I would say, isn't everybody a person? Aren't you really marketing to a person on the end of that keyboard? So it's really business to people. But it might even be P2P, because we're a person on this end and they're a person on that end. So if you start looking at it from that angle, you can start really building relationships with people, right? And that's one of the things that I really love to do. And so, especially now with technology being the way that it is and some of the amazing things that we can do with technology, with personalization. So a lot of websites are designed to be relevant for, you know, everybody. You come to the site, boom, everybody sees the same website. But now, you can do some things that allow you to change the website based on what you know about the visitor coming to your site, which is pretty amazing, okay? So on your website, you might have many different sort of marketing tags on your website, right? All these different marketing tags are going to have some part of third-party data behind it, and they're coming to your site. It can slow your site down, which is really interesting. So you want your site you want it to load fast. It's very important. And so that's one of the reasons why I came to work with Inciton, because Inciton actually gives you one tag on your website, and then all those tags go in the engine and they get deployed from their 14 data servers, so it loads really quick. But something that's really cool is that every one of these third-party cookies, or every one of these third-party sort of providers has data attached to it, but your business doesn't own that data. They belong to those tag companies. So one thing that Inciton does is actually helps you figure out, based on, like, say for example, if you're targeting an ad to 30 to 35-year-old females, blah, 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 well then what happens is we know that when that ad gets deployed from that cookie, that's a 30 to 35-year-old female, and we know other things about it. So they're literally taking all these third-party cookie libraries and building a unique first-party library that then your businesses get to own. And then you can then do marketing actions based on that data. So if somebody comes to your site, and we'll show you here, say for example, you're Southwest, and we know that somebody likes to travel a lot to Denver. Well, maybe when they come to the website, you switch out this whole website based on what we know about that visitor, and we give them a deal on a flight to Denver for $49 or whatever. So you can literally change out every single element of the website based on what you know. Create context-aware content. And I really think that's where the future's headed. So here's AT&T's website. They're not doing it. You can see how all those panels are sort of flat. And then JCPenney, all those are flat. So there's a lot of opportunities for businesses to go in and change and create new deals based on what they know about the visitor coming to the site, which you could never do before, which is pretty cool stuff. So you can develop cool personas and get higher conversions, what it's all about. And I just want to throw this one in here just because it's Facebook, and look at how many layers of information is on Facebook, which is interesting. So these are all the different layers. Pretty handy stuff. So that's nice, honey. All right. So now we're going to go, it's going to be a firestorm here of really cool tools that we're going to share with you. All right, so this is Unmetric. Unmetric allows you to do some serious competitor analysis on social channels. So you can sort all the data based on what you know, or what we find out. So which pieces of their content was shared the most, has the most likes, has the most comments on their page, right? Which tweets got the most retweets, all kinds of stuff. So it's really interesting to do that stuff. So here you go. You can sort it, you can export it, you can see a bunch of great information. So Unmetric's pretty cool. Here's some advocacy engagement platforms. And again, this will be on the takeaway sheet that I give you guys, but there's a ton of amazing sort of, you want to engage your employees because they're your best advocates, right? People trust employees way more than they'll trust the CEO, right? And so there's way more employees, and the followers of the employee accounts are way more than the corporate accounts. So you want to find ways to engage your employees because they're your best brand ambassadors, and then along with your super advocates that you can connect with as well. Sysomos is another amazing tool. This tool is like magic to me. I love this tool. It's an expensive tool. It's about a $35,000 tool. But one of the things that you can do, it's literally like the Library of Congress for the last 3.5 years. Every tweet, every news article, every blog post, every video, every forum post, every image over the last 3.5 years is indexed, sortable, and exportable. So you can find the most influential resources and people who write about whatever keywords that you're trying to focus on. It's really amazing. And so you can create a really big Boolean query and really dive in and really find that. So Sysomos is pretty awesome. It'll show you the spikes in the content so you can literally see when the big moments were within the last few years or whatever based on whatever keyword you're searching for. So that's Sysomos. Here's my next beard that I'm going to grow. If I could actually grow a beard, I don't grow any beard in here. So I grow it all right here, obviously. All right, Get Little Bird. Get Little Bird is amazing for finding bros, all right? So what you do is you'll type in a keyword and it will go out and find everyone who is relevant about those keywords. Then it will sort it for you based on, of those people who they have identified to be relevant for that keyword, who is followed the most by other people within those who are also influencers from that space. You can export it, and then what's cool is you can literally export it to a Twitter list, or you can export all of their blog feeds to an OPML file that you can then insert into Feedly, and it makes research way easier if you're doing a new industry or you're working with a new client or just for your own particular brand. So say for example, who are people who are influential about Dallas, and then it will show you, oh, these are places that are influential about Dallas, and then it will give you tons of information about those. So, oh, we found, 808 influencers, and the Dallas Morning News is the most influential because 479 of those 808 are following that one. So really cool tool. And it was actually created by Marshall Kirkpatrick, formerly of Read Write Web. So really cool. I love that tool. I use it a lot. Compost is great for content creation. So they have a lot of writers and a lot of really unique tools there to sort of help make your content better. So, if you're in that space, worth doing a demo with those guys. DiviHQ allows you to have a really cool editorial content calendar so that everybody within your organization can share it and utilize that to really sort of tap in and figure out what's the latest and greatest piece of content for approval process and whatnot. So that's pretty handy. And John Jantz of Duct Tape Marketing, he says that was the best tool that he's ever used, and so he loves that. Contently, another great tool especially if you're a big brand and you want to create really cool stories, then this might be a tool that you want to take a look at, Contently. Inbound Writer, they have hundreds and hundreds of writers available for you guys to hire, and a lot of these sort of content tools do. They have hundreds of writers from all different types of reading and writing levels. So if you want to get a PhD level writer or author to write something for you, you can do that. Or you want to get somebody sort of down here and you get charged for different, the higher the quality of writer, the more you pay or whatever. But it will actually give you suggested SEO terms to use in your articles, and it gives that to the writers so they then write based on the words that you need written. So it's pretty handy. Scripted, another great tool. Skyward is probably one of my favorites within this class, and actually I believe they're here in Boston. So Skyward, they have 2,500 or 3,000 writers. They had almost 20,000, and then they got rid of all the crappy ones. So the only thing that's left is like really amazing writers. And they're all about creating searchable and snackable and shareable content. And so that's what they instruct their writers to do for you. So if you do need some content, you might want to go to them. They'll give you a writer profile for every one of for the authors that are there. The keywords, they'll actually grade they'll give you an SEO grade for the article. Give that back to the writer, so then the writer can go and enhance it and make the article better by the time it gets delivered to you. So pretty cool stuff. And Rock the Deadline is another cool tool that is along those same lines. So there we go. This is some of the additional resources that I talked about here. Content templates, advanced guide to content marketing. Those are really good. So hopefully I blew your mind. Lots of great content. Here's the link that you guys are going to want. It's bit.ly/TW Tools. That's TEEDUBYA Tools. It is a Google Doc, and so I do update that document frequently, right? So go ahead and grab that link because all those tools that I just mentioned were there. So instead of breaking your hand writing it, there you go. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do the conclusion of the Chief story. Oh, did you get it? No. You did it? No. bit.ly, bit.ly/TEEDUBYA, that's my Twitter handle, Tools, TOOLS. Everybody got it? Are we good? Yep. If not, too bad. All right, so here's the conclusion of the Chief story. Last year was our 50th anniversary and they were celebrating the fan, which was really amazing. And so they celebrated it by being the worst team in the history of the league. They literally, at one point, they went, what was it? Yeah, 0 touchdowns and 33 possessions, but I think they went 10 games or something without ever having a lead, and that was the worst since the 1929 Buffalo Bisons or something. I was like, you never even heard of them. So anyway, they were historically bad, and here's our antagonist. You guys knowingly love this guy because he did a lot of great stuff when he was here in Boston. He went to Kansas City, and he was horrible. He ran it like he was a mob boss or something. And none of the old players were able to come into the facility. If a journalist talked bad, criticized the Chiefs, he would shut them down. They would get no more access. He was just horrible. And so it was a group of fans that they knew that I was the Get a Clue Twitter guy, and they said, "Hey, we're thinking about maybe flying some banners over Arrowhead. Can you help us?" And so the second guy in the black T-shirt or the black hoodie that says Blackout Arrowhead, his name's Marty McDonald. He created this Save Our Chiefs, and so I said, well, let me help you with this. And so we grew the follower base, and we grew a Facebook fan page. Then we went to, then people were creating signs and keep calm and fire Pioli. We really hated Pioli. We really hate him. And so, you know, fans were we were not happy at all. So we went to a message board, Chiefs Planet, and we got people we raised funds. We got about $7,000 worth of funds to fly banners over Arrowhead telling everyone how much we hated Pioli. So, hey, yeah, it was like, we deserve better. Fire Pioli, bench Castle. CC, get a clue. So we wanted to black out Arrowhead, and we did. Look at all the black shirts that are on Arrowhead. It's completely empty, and most people were wearing black, so we were able to accomplish that. Then Clark Hunt, our owner, was like, dude, I got this. Fired Pioli. Woo! Everybody was happy. We rejoiced. We got Andy Reid and John Dorsey, who was the head of scouting and drafting for the Packers. So now we're 2-0. Chiefs are doing good now again, right? So once that happened, boom, the Chiefs followed me back. That was magical. Cool story. They called me bro, and everybody rejoiced. They were really happy about that. Chiefs fans were really excited. Woo! I love those guys. Those are great. What I actually love is I love the dude over on the far right over there. He's not having it. He's like, no, I've seen this crap before. That's my favorite part of that. All right, so there we go. So I am Travis Wright, and thank you guys for coming out here to, Social Media Strategy Summit. It's been great. Thank you.